Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make whipped cream without any heavy cream at all. This is an alternative for those of you who are dairy-free or just trying to avoid heavy cream. Sometimes it can be hard to find, or maybe it's too expensive. So this recipe uses everyday ingredients that you probably already have on hand. And also the instructions are so simple. Even if you don't have a mixer, you can still make this. Now, before we get started, I wanted to mention that I have a whole playlist full of vegan dessert recipes. So if you're interested in more recipes like this one, you can check out the link in the description box below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a 13.5 ounce can of full fat coconut milk. You can use light coconut milk, but I do recommend using the full fat because it's going to be a little bit thicker. It will work, but I think the texture of the whipped cream will be a little bit better with the full fat coconut milk. Next, you're going to need 3/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is optional, but it does help stabilize the whipped cream, so it holds its shape a little bit better. But if you don't have any, you can just leave it out. Next, you'll need your sweetener of choice. So I'm using granulated sugar, but you can use powdered sugar or granulated sugar. It's totally up to you. And then lastly, you'll need vanilla extract. Now, I'm using pure vanilla extract, but you can use imitation vanilla extract if that's what you have on hand. Now, I got all of these ingredients at my local grocery store. You can even find some of these ingredients at a convenience store. So I hope you guys can find everything that you need. Okay, so first things first, you're going to want to chill this bowl and the whisk attachment of your stand mixer or your hand mixer. You want everything to be nice and cold when making whipped cream because you're going to be whipping the ingredients until stiff peaks form. And so you want to get that air into the mixture. And so if everything's nice and cold, then it's going to be easier for the air to be whipped into the mixture. So once everything is nice and chilled, go ahead and pour the coconut milk into the chilled bowl. Next, add the cream of tartar, then the sweetener, then the vanilla extract. Now, if you're using a different sweetener, then I do recommend tasting the mixture before you get going, just to see if you need to add more or less sweetener. So go ahead and mix the ingredients on low speed until the sweetener has mostly dissolved. And then you're going to want to increase the speed to high and whip the mixture until stiff peaks form. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer or a hand mixer, that's totally fine. You can still make whipped cream by hand. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So if you don't have a mixer, then you're going to want to start whisking the coconut milk by hand in a large bowl. Whisk the coconut milk until it begins to thicken. Then slowly add the sweetener while continuing to whisk. Once all of the sweetener has been added, continue to whisk the mixture until stiff peaks form. Again, if you don't have a mixer, this is going to take a little bit longer, so just be patient and just keep whisking. And once stiff peaks do form, then you're done. Okay, so you can tell the whipped cream is ready when you lift the whisk up and the peak stands straight up. That means it's whipped to stiff peaks. Now, if you were to turn the mixer off right now, the whipped cream would fall over. That's because we need to whip the whipped cream until it can hold its shape. The whipped cream is ready when you lift the whisk up and the peak stays up. Look at that! Look how beautiful this is. I love this so much. I know it looks a little bit weird because it's not white, but it tastes absolutely delicious. It actually looks really pretty to me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. So the whipped cream is ready to be used as soon as you make it. However, if you are planning on piping the whipped cream onto desserts, then I do recommend piping it immediately. If you wait too long, then the whipped cream is going to deflate and become soft. So if you plan on piping the whipped cream onto desserts, then I do recommend piping it right away. To pipe the whipped cream, you're going to need a piping bag and a star tip. I always use a disposable piping bag and a reusable star tip. I find that this works best for me. I do recommend having the star tip on because it makes the whipped cream look prettier. Now, I've shown you guys how to pipe whipped cream several times before, so I'm not going to go through that again. But I did want to show you guys a quick demo just to refresh your memory of how to pipe whipped cream. So here I am piping some whipped cream onto a piece of cake. So I'm just holding the piping bag straight up, and then I'm just squeezing the bag to pipe the whipped cream onto the cake. And then once I'm done piping, I'll just remove the piping bag. And there you go. That's how easy it is. Now, as far as storage, you can store the whipped cream in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. But I do recommend using the whipped cream as soon as you make it. As I mentioned earlier, the whipped cream will deflate after sitting in the refrigerator, so I do recommend using it as soon as you make it. Now, as far as serving suggestions, you can use this whipped cream on anything that you would normally use regular whipped cream on. So pie, cupcakes, cake, ice cream, fruit, waffles, pancakes, cereal, toast. Really, the sky's the limit. I honestly love using this whipped cream on fruit. It's amazing. Just sweet enough, not too sweet. And it's also not too thick or too thin. So yeah, I just love it. Another one of my favorite ways to use this whipped cream is on my morning toast. So I'll spread some whipped cream on top of my bread, and then I'll sprinkle some cinnamon on top. And yeah, this is my normal breakfast, and it's so good. Like, I could eat this every single day and not get tired of it. It's so delicious. Okay, so now I'm going to share a few frequently asked questions that I've gotten about this recipe. First, can I make this whipped cream in a blender? Yes, you can. In fact, I have made it in a blender and it turned out great. I just put all of the ingredients in a blender and then blend on high speed until stiff peaks form. So yes, you can make this in a blender. Next, can I freeze this whipped cream? Unfortunately, I haven't tried freezing this whipped cream, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. So I would hate to mislead you and say that you can freeze it and then you try it and it doesn't work out. So I haven't tried freezing this whipped cream, but you are welcome to try it and let us know how it turns out in the comment section below. Now, this next question is, can I make this whipped cream with coconut cream? And the answer is yes. In fact, I actually prefer using coconut cream. Coconut cream is thicker than coconut milk, so it's going to give you a better whipped cream texture. So if you have coconut cream on hand, then definitely use that instead of coconut milk. Now, this next question is, can I use a different sweetener? And the answer is yes, you can use powdered sugar or granulated sugar. It's totally up to you. But just keep in mind that if you use a different sweetener, then you may need to adjust the amount. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video.